Hi guys, welcome back to the Financial Interest YouTube channel. My name's Dan. So we've just received most of the 13F filings now for all the major institutional investors, and I wanted to take a look at that in this video and just kind of go over who I follow and kind of what things I look for when I'm studying the 13Fs. So let's get on with the video. So all institutional investors in the US are required to file a 13F every quarter, and that's if they have more than $100 million of assets under management. And this is a really great resource because this is going to show you what any of the really big investors bought or sold within the last quarter. So this is a really great way to see where all the guru investors are actually putting their money. And it's one of the things that I learned in the Phil Town course, that you actually need to look for gurus who are investing in certain kind of stocks. And this can give you confidence that your thesis is on track and that you're aligned with other value investors. And due to the size of these companies, you're actually going to find that most of the holdings are really large companies anyway, because obviously if they're in really big funds, they can't be buying kind of micro cap stocks and things like that. So you'll really only see kind of fairly major companies traded on the S&P 500 and things like that. And I should also say that this is only featuring US stocks, so any of the filings, they're not actually going to take into account any foreign holdings or cash either. But we need to be a little bit cautious with this because we're really only receiving these filings around 6 weeks after the end of the quarter. So the earliest they could have bought or sold any of these positions would actually be at the beginning of July, and we're only going to find out now kind of midway through November. So that's one thing we need to be a little bit careful about, because also we don't know the exact price that they bought in or sold out at. So in this sense, we're kind of lagging quite far behind the investors, but it's still a good gauge of what to expect and kind of understand the sentiment in the market as well. So we'll go and take a look now at Dataroma, and this is one of the main resources where I go to find the 13F filings for all the people I follow. So we can see here that we've got like some information from Dataroma, and this will tell you the super investor portfolio stats. So we can see here the top 10 most owned stocks, and then we've got Facebook, which is now Meta, Google, both different classes of stock for Google, which is Alphabet. You've got Microsoft, Wells Fargo, Visa, Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway B-class shares, and then also Comcast and Alibaba. And you will see that Alibaba has been mentioned quite heavily, which I'll just touch on as I go through some of the filings here. So we can just move down the list. So we've got here Li Lu. He's very closely linked with Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger kind of thinks he's one of the best investors in the world. So if that's good enough for Charlie, it's definitely good enough for me. So we can see here Li Lu's main stock holdings, and he's actually only got 7 stocks. So this is the kind of thing that I'm looking for. We're kind of looking for being really knowledgeable about the small amount of companies we'll own. We'll just look at his major positions here. He's got Micron, Bank of America, Berkshire, and then going down to 10% Google, and then he's obviously got some Apple holdings and also Facebook. And we can just have a scroll down. We've also got Michael Burry. He's Scion Asset Management. That's one of the ones I keep an eye on as well. This time he's actually bought into Lockheed Martin. Obviously, that's kind of a major defense company with aerospace engineering and things like that in the US. And you will just see here that you've got buy or reduce, and that's kind of obviously buy is a new buy, reduce is when they're reducing their positions. And he's holding 6 stocks. So again, that kind of fits into the sort of thing that I'm looking at for investments. And here we'll jump into Manish Babrai, who's only holding 3 stocks, and has just a reminder, that's obviously on the US exchanges. And this is the one that's been causing quite a lot of controversy amongst all the value investors, the fact that he's actually reduced his position in Alibaba, which was something he'd made in, I think, the first 2 quarters of the year. We can just jump in here and have a look at that activity. So we can see there that in Q3 he's reduced his position, but Q1 and Q2 was actually when he was buying into the stock. And there's lots of videos out about theories behind this. I'm not going to go into it too much myself here, but a few of those theories are the fact that he's trying to free up capital to buy Tencent. And that's like a kind of whole, you can make a whole video on that anyway. But that's just kind of another person I really like to keep an eye on is Manish Babrai. And here we'll also jump into Guy Spear, which is Aquamarine Capital. You can see his main holdings here. He's got 13 holdings. Obviously the biggest position he's holding at the moment is Berkshire Hathaway, and then he's got American Express, Bank of America, MasterCard, so he's obviously quite heavy in the payments industry there. And then we go down, we've got Seritage, bought into Alibaba as well, and he's holding also Google and Twitter. Just jump in and see the activity there. In Q2 he bought Alibaba and Daily Journal, and those are both new buys for him, because you can see by this it means new buy. And then if you're selling, that's kind of you're selling out completely of your position, so that's 100%. And then if it's reduced, then that actually means that he's already holding a position but he's just reducing his amount. And then you can see here in the percentage change to their portfolio what that does. And we'll just scroll down here and jump into, we can see here another person I follow, Charlie Munger from the Daily Journal Corp. And we've got his results. He's obviously holding 5 stocks in this portfolio. And in this quarter, the only change has been that he's added to his Alibaba position, and he's added 82.7% to that. And then this will give you a kind of indicated price of what they paid, and actually the value as well, and the actual percentage change in the portfolio, which is 19.86. So Charlie's a really good one to follow as well. We can't really go through one of these filings without actually jumping into Warren Buffett and his Berkshire Hathaway changes. So we can see here over the years, obviously Berkshire holds a huge amount of different stocks. And if you look at the portfolio value, obviously it's pretty large, 293 billion, holding 43 different stocks. You can see the changes here, reduces position in US Bancorp. And then obviously there's nothing major really here. He's kind of reduced quite a few positions, reduced in Visa, reduced in MasterCard, also reduced in a few different areas from pharmaceutical companies. And then he's added to his Chevron position. But all in all, not too many changes here. So there we've just taken a look through some of the 13F switches from Dataroma, and there's a few other cool websites like Whale Wisdom as well, and also Tikr. So I'll just jump into Tikr now, because actually what you'll see in Tikr is they also cover some of the foreign holdings of these investors as well. So here we are in Tikr, and now we're looking at Manish Babrai. And apart from his holdings in the US, where he's got Micron and Seritage and obviously Alibaba, which he's reduced his position in, he's also holding different positions in Turkey, Japan and India. So this will kind of give you a bit of a better idea of other holdings he's got around the world as well. But it's still a relatively small amount of stocks. So this is a kind of a good way to sort of track people's portfolios using those websites. And I'll leave the links to those as well in the description. So that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like. Also consider subscribing to the channel as well if you haven't already, and you can hit the notification bell to get notified of when I release new videos. And let me know which are the main people that you follow for the gurus to get ideas for stocks. Are there particular people you follow most for the 13Fs? Let us know in the comments. I'm always interested to know about that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.